Are you ready? Can Crushers. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey there, it's me, your almighty EMT, Urza Menagerie Tinker, and we love Can Crushers. Thank you so much for always being a Can Crusher fan, because we want to see you in the next episode.
Welcome to Can Crusher Wrestling Podcast. Hello! That's our intro because something happened during hitting the record button. It just no filter. No,
it was BBS, guys.
BBS. That's Sir Michael Jenks. Keep him in the closet. Keep him quarantined. I'm Mark the Mark. Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Jenksy, you look good.
Thank you. Besides the blood vessel broken eye and red spots on my face, but thank you. You look good too. You look like you've just shed some weight and are more free now in your everyday life.
No, I'm drinking wine tonight. Is what it is.
I know, it's trying to be nice.
I got a blackberry Marlowe. I don't remember where the hell it's from. It's been in the fridge for a while.
Oh, that's fancy. I'm drinking a water with ice.
Well, that's because you're sick. You did see the glass, right?
I did see the glass, yeah. Actually, mostly I only saw the other sides, whatever that
General Electric.
Yeah,
sponsored it that day.
GE.
Yeah. No sponsorship of the podcast, though, whatsoever.
No.
You're not supposed to drink wine out of tumblers, I've heard, but most of the bottle fit in this tumbler, just to throw that out there.
That's because people, for some reason, are afraid to just embrace what they already know. They're going to drink a bottle in one sitting.
Clearly. At least during episode segment 2, it will be gone. And I have another bottle in the fridge as well. Definitely cannot go to beer after wine. I am one of those guys that can't intermingle stuff.
Yeah, stick down one path and that's it. I could never do that.
I will probably have a raging alcohol. Holy fuck, it's hitting hard. There's the explicit as well for the week. I will probably have a raging headache tomorrow morning, though, after drinking a bottle of wine tonight.
All that sugar, alcohol. Yeah, you're
perfect for a road trip.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. That's where you just hunker down, get your best W and some greasy ass food, and hope for the best.
Let's speak about W because I'll be using that tomorrow. Not going on the list. W's an awesome way to start off your mornings. You guys know I'm a garbage man. I work for the city, So I take 2 scoops, throw it in my shaker, add some water, shake the shit out of it, and it gets me through the day. There's no crash, there's no carbonation, there's no calories. Beach and Peach is where it's at. Make sure you check out W, and you can save some money, right, Jenksy? By how?
By entering Can Crushers as the promo code, and I believe it is 10% off when you go to W.
It is. This is my first glass, and it's hitting me hard already, by the way. So,
when was the last time you've had wine?
Probably my wedding. 7 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been about 6 or 7, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's not that old. It's not like...
Oh, no. Yeah. But when you haven't had wine in 6 or 7 years, it will fuck with you a little bit.
It's hitting hard and fast.
I'll tell this story. Luckily I had a driver for this night, but I went to Wine on the Lake in Erie. It's like 2018, 2019. It was before the pandemic, 2019 probably. And no, it was 20. It was actually literally the month before the pandemic. So it was 2020.
February then.
February, yeah. Went to Wine on the Lake. I was sipping wines, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. Then because you're tasting a lot of wines, you're going down a rabbit hole, and you're not thinking straight, right? I came home with 9 bottles of wine and a hangover that night. Well, the hangover came the next morning, right? So the wine I came back with was a lot of sweet wine, which was good. I had it. There's one bottle that I still have not opened. I will never open, but had a fucking pepper in it because it was a spicy wine.
No.
It was delicious when I was drinking.
Right.
But I look at it, and I looked at it every 5 months after I had it, and I still have it in the cupboard. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know why I would ever try to drink that.
I'll tell you the story. The first Christmas party. Welcome to a wrestling podcast, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
The first Christmas party I went to at my current job, some of the guys make wine. So I'm like, oh, yeah, fine and dandy. One of the guys made a jalapeno wine, okay? Yeah. This was after a pyramid of beers have been drank by all of us. He's like, anybody want jalapeno wine? I'm Mexican, I can do it. Gives my fucking guns out. Let's go! Okay. Yeah, it went in the throat, and it instantly came out of the throat.
Oh.
Because it just didn't get along whatsoever with anything. It was unbelievable. I remember that taste. It's almost as bad as, like, I can't do tequila anymore either because that was my buddies took me out for my 21st birthday. So let's do 21 shots of tequila. I don't think they did tequila when I was doing tequila. I also went and had my stomach pumped that night.
Oh, I believe that.
Never again for tequila. No, I can't do that, and I couldn't probably even smell that shit that you have in your cupboard.
First of all, I wouldn't even open that shit I have in my cupboard now. But tequila, I don't think I've had since my 24th birthday. And this is why it's a random birthday, but this is when I had it. They had a surprise party for me for my 24th birthday out at one of the restaurants now in Erie. And I went, was having a great time, having beers, whatever. My cousin goes, here, do these shots. I'm like, okay, why? Just do them. Did the 3 shots. If you know where this is going, it's the 3 amigos. So it's a Tuesday night. Wednesday, I got to work. And the job I had at the time, you don't really get time off because you're a contractor, so you just need to go in. And I tell you, I stared at a screen for about 8 hours, barely moving the mouse that day because holy shit. I know it came up at least once, but never trust my cousin with shots.
Yeah. Shots are just bad. They really are. I am not a condoner of shots. I don't really like doing shots. Don't get me wrong. I like a mixed drink every once in a while, but you got to have that buffer. Just to sit at the bar and go, wham, with something.
The guys or gals that sit at a bar, a shot and a beer every time, kudos to you because that would not, and could be normal.
Right.
After sitting there for 4 hours. Could never do it.
No. Maybe I want to grow up to do that one day. But then I'm thinking, no, man, I don't know. There's continuation to this story. Christmas the next year, and I'm not condoning anything that we're saying on here because you're going to put 2 and 2 together. We have our pyramid of beers, rocking and rolling, and I'm like, hey, who's getting the wine this year? And everybody's like, no, we didn't bring wine. I'm like, well, hold on. I'll be right back. A family member of mine had given me a carboy of wine to finish fermenting for him. for like 6 months ago. And I'm like, I got this. So I come home and I bring a carboy of what everybody knows what a carboy is, right?
Yeah.
Big ass, yeah. I bring this fucking carboy of wine back to the Christmas party. And they're like, what are we going to do with that? I'm like, let's just get some straws and drink out of it. They did. The downfall is the carboy never really left for 4 years after. It got stuck in somebody's, to hide it from our boss, who no longer works there, that we were having ragers for Christmas parties. It got stuck in somebody's locker, put the cork back on it, and it would make its way back out every year until it had been officially gone. And this was like maybe 5 years ago. It was, I never had a drink of it after the first year, but some people were like, that's not bad, it's wine. Okay. The sludge and sediment underneath it was just unbelievably god-awful. So that scared me. Essentially, all I wanted to do was get rid of the carboy, because I was never, what the fuck am I going to use a carboy for?
Well, yeah.
My supervisor's like, if anything, I'll take the carboy, we'll dump the wine out. Everybody voted he wasn't allowed having the carboy until the wine was gone.
When was this vote taking place?
During the Christmas party? Yeah, during the pyramids.
Yeah, of course.
So there you go. And like I said, the last time I've had wine was probably like 2017. So this is what the podcast is going to be about. Stories of muck today.
Stories of muck and just piecing it all together. They give you guys predictions and reviews and whatever you got.
Yeah, a recap of a premium live event and just the week in general. But you have any hot topics? I have nothing. I thought it was kind of a I'm gonna ruin it right now. It was a lackluster week in wrestling for me, from start to finish.
I think nothing of note from a hot topic wise, because there's just nothing out there right now. I think it's just wrestling in general. I didn't think it got too heated or too crazy or anything of that nature. I think Hell in a Cell started it hot, and then we came to a crashing halt, I think. So, and I get it, why AEW really kind of just slowed it down, because whatever WrestleDream's bringing, it's going to be bringing the fire, I think, for this weekend. But, so yeah, I would agree. It's just something that's, it's here.
It is here. It is here. I am heading to Pitt right now, as you guys are listening to this. Pitt, California this week. It's a pretty big game. I mean, Pitt's ranked now. I think they win this, they bump up a little bit.
Yeah, Cal gave Miami a run for its money last weekend, so it's going to be a really good game, I think, for Pitt. Are you nervous?
Yes.
Yeah.
One, because we're ranked, and that kind of like, oh, I didn't think if we win today, tomorrow, that we'd get ranked after this game. But I think with what happened last week in college football, kind of shoved Pitt up the rankings a little bit faster than maybe should have been.
Well, that's accurate, because last weekend in college football was upset city left and right. Sorry for coughing in your ears, but everything under the sun is like, everybody's getting upset. You turn around, boom, there's another one that's dropping. Bandies taking field goal posts and power bombing them into the fucking river.
They walked that motherfucker 3 miles. This is
3 miles.
A bad show if I finish this bottle of wine, because I'm already every other word. 3 miles into the river.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 miles into the river down their busiest street, Broadway, where basically that's Bachelorette Central, walking it down there. So just motherfucking drunk-ass college kids carrying this fucking field goal post, which weighs God knows how many pounds.
I've seen this done a few other times, like in cities. Like, can the cops just not stop them? I understand. Like, there's a mob, and the cops are like, they're going to get rid of it sooner or later.
I think at some point, it's more or less, let's make sure they're not going to throw it through a window.
Touche.
Basically, they're not going to do damage and let them be. Because you're a crowd of, what? Let's say 50 cops versus several thousands of fans carrying whatever the weight is of this goddamn goalpost. You're not going to try to stop somebody. Just let them be. I mean, Vandy was perfectly fine paying the $100,000 fine that came with it, collecting donations for it too as well. But
they made their money back.
They made their money back big time because I think from what I heard, didn't they cut up the post and sell it to make money back? Yeah.
Yeah. After they fished it out of the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos to him.
100%.
How much would you put? How much Oregon beats? Oregon's not. They're not going to carry a goalpost because they're that damn good.
I'll go because I started a new team on college football as a dynasty. Old Dominion. Old Dominion goes in, which they're really not great. Old Dominion goes in, smacks Alabama, wins, right? I'm sitting there, I'm a stupid college kid, and I got $1,000 sitting in my bank. I'd consider it. 500. What's section lengths? What am I getting at? Am I getting a
Well, that's the thing. Are you just getting a little ring?
Yeah, if it's a little ring, okay. 100. I'll give you 100 for it.
4 foot? I'd probably go 5.
Yeah, 4 foot. I'll go 5. $100 a foot.
Oh, then you're gonna have somebody.
Somebody's
I can buy the whole fucking thing, Dad. Loaded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this up in my parents' house.
And then meanwhile, their parents are like, "Where the fuck is it? What the hell are we supposed to do with this shit?"
It'd be me putting my mom in debt. Hey, Mom. Pitt beat so and so. Depending on whatever conference they were in. Pitt beat so and so. They're going to deliver a goalpost to the house, and I have XYZ contracting to come and cement it in.
Oh, what?
Yeah, a goalpost. No, never mind, Mark. You can. I love you.
Oh, mine would have been, don't you ever fucking think about it. Mercier goes and wins something, and I was good go do that. My father would have been like, you can shove that goalpost up your ass before you bring it in my yard. Yeah, sideways. You're not putting it in my backyard. But
what would you put? Conversations amok. What would you put in your? I don't think I'd put a goalpost for real. What would you put in your house or your backyard if you could legally pillage something from a stadium or whatever?
What would you?
Mine's an easy one.
I've
always wanted to buy a stadium seat from someplace.
That's where my head just went because the Seawolves were selling some at one point, and I thought about, I could buy those and bolt it onto the deck and just have these cool seats out here. Yeah.
I thought about when they did it at not PNC, Three Rivers when they blew that up, or I've even, anytime a new stadium, somebody's getting a new stadium, I'm like, they're going to be selling seats. I can say whatever.
Yeah.
I would probably really think about one from Comerica. This is probably 20 years down the line before they do anything to Comerica, but I would think about buying something from Comerica.
Yeah, the tiger statue.
Unless Heinz Field's going to put the bottles back up, I could have the bottles like right on the side of my house,
just tipping and just going back
and forth.
I would
a stadium seat would definitely be something.
I think stadium seats reasonable.
Right.
The one thing I would put in my house that may not come from a stadium but is inspired by like an arena stadium is one of those mini jumbotrons that you could put up into your house. I think that's fucking the coolest goddamn thing ever.
I do too. I've seen them over, like people have pool tables in their house and stuff like that. Yeah. I've almost pulled the trigger on one of those before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you should calm down.
I'm putting together a man cave, so this might be a perfect addition just to kind of do a fucking Jumbotron in the basement.
Kimberly, that might be a great wedding present. Hint, hint.
Yeah, hint, hint. I'm not telling you anything else. If you can save up whatever that money is for that.
Right. All right.
I got one more thing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, I don't think we said much about the hurricanes going through last weekend, and we pray for everybody that was impacted by it. Godspeed on the recovery and whatnot. Did you see Tampa Bay's stadium or the Pete or
what was the stadium?
What was the stadium is now just open, shredded pieces everywhere.
First off, I didn't know it was even nylon or whatever. Not nylon, but it was like nylon on the outside too.
Yeah, it was like a canvas nylon type roofing, which I hadn't even thought about, but looking at it, okay, yeah.
I knew it was different on the inside, but I thought there was a hard shell on the outside. It wasn't. I know it's October. Are you going to be able to repair that by April?
I don't think they can.
I don't think they can.
And to me, why would you if you're building a new park in 5 years?
You're going to have an opened stadium? Or what's the Rays do next year? 162 games on the road?
They would never. I think to me, cost-wise, that's millions of dollars that are out the window, right?
Right.
So to me, I'm having a new stadium in maybe, I can't remember what the timeline is, but 3 to 5 years. Do I spend millions on just covering a roof, or do I just let it be open?
There's work to be done on it even to be open. Like, you're going to have to cut those pillars and shit off.
They're going to take it off, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd probably save money to take that off than it would, I would assume, put another cover on it.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't read in depth how bad the stadium is. Listen, there's a quadrillion baseball fields down there. The downfall is they're single-A baseball stadiums.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can't just say, hey, Hal Steinbrenner said that we can go play there. By the way, the bark box came again today, so somebody's eating fucking candy corn in the other room with a squeaker in it. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to play. It's bad enough that Oakland's playing at a AAA stadium for the next 4 years. Maybe, yes, maybe not. Yeah, who knows? Because that's a shit show. But you're not putting a major league ballpark team, in a single-A stadium for 81 games.
There's no way. There'd just be no way.
Yeah. Do they share? Do they have to redo the schedule? Maybe Tampa plays a lot in Miami.
That's the only other option I could really think of is they're playing a lot in Miami. When the Marlins are on the road, Tampa's there, kind of alternating back and forth. I mean, that's the only reasonable solution down there for what they could do.
Yeah.
So
that's the baseball thing we're worried about. But I have friends and family in Florida. I know you do too. Godspeed. I hope everything works out for you guys. I did watch some coverage, and my heart breaks for everybody in Florida right now.
Mine does too. So unfortunate.
It is. Back-to-back weeks, essentially.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. All right, let's pay the bills. Talk wrestling. We paid one already. So let's tell you about Collar and Elbow. Hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and the Hooligans have at Collar and Elbow. Make sure you check them out. I've had shirts for years now, and they are still amazing. They are from like day one. They just fit. They're comfortable. They're awesome. If you want to check out anything at Collar and Elbow, head over to collarandelbow.com. And by using the promo code that Sir Michael Jenks is going to tell you about, you'll save 10%.
Yeah, type in Can Crushers over there and save that 10%. You can also use our WWE affiliate code, which is in the show notes. I think we determined that is below the post. Maybe it's above. Who knows? Anyways, go ahead and use that affiliate code. Click on the link. You may get a discount. You may not. But at least it's helping us out by clicking that beautiful little link down below.
Woo. Don't forget, we have stuff over at CrowdMade, too, if you want a T-shirt, a crew neck, a hoodie, or a cutoff. No, not a cutoff. A tank top.
You can make your own.
You can make your own cutoff, though. I did that on purpose. I know people make or sell cutoffs.
Yeah.
They're not as good as, like, personalizing your cutoff, right?
No, they're not. You got to do it yourself. It always feels better when you do it yourself.
It does. You get to slit down the side if you want it, or you can have it a little bit longer on this. Nonetheless, check out all our stuff at CrowdMade, and show the support for Can Crushers there. I can't wait till we talk wrestling if I'm this drunk already.
I know, right? Okay, we did W, so now you can listen to us anywhere that you would like on Apple, whatever, podcast networks, iHeartRadio, whatever you want, even on YouTube. But you'll only see the picture that comes up with the episode, but you can still hear us on all of those platforms. And just take us in and binge us if you want.
That was cool. We got an email this week about saying, hey, we're looking for it must be somebody new. So shout out to whoever you are.
Yeah.
Hey, we're actually looking for your YouTube show. Can you kind of post the last episode? So I did. This week I posted the last episode on the Facebooks there. And I did see, like, a few more people then subscribe. So thank you very much. I hope that you like just looking at the thumbnail that we create. I always throw it around. Should we make this YouTube? But we're not YouTube. And it's not because we're not beautiful people.
Yeah.
We're not. We are a audio podcast. And a lot of, even the wrestlers, like, man, good, I don't have to get ring ready and da-da-da-da-da when I've had interviews before. So we love the audio part.
Yeah.
We'll just throw it on YouTube like that.
Exactly. Keep it simple, keep it nice, and it gives a nice calming atmosphere for anybody to come on, talk that they want to.
You don't understand the shit that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, exactly. But, hey, we're all about comfort around here, right? So, here we go. Comfort.
Join any of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, just to keep conversations going. We always post something stupid here and there every day, some newsworthy stuff. So join that as well. You'll find out stuff. Not what we're doing. We do a podcast. You guys realize that now. We do a podcast, okay?
I still was not aware of that. Anyways, you could also contact us on this podcast if you would like. 814-299-6687 or at cancrusher69@gmail.com, especially when we have those Ask Can Crusher episodes that might be coming up sooner rather than later. You can drop those questions there.
The 26th is when it is because we owe you one because we had technical difficulties, So that was a great segue. A lot to cover this week. We got a pay-per-view to cover next week. So the 26th, not a lot going on. So perfect. Ask Can Crusher Day. Get your shit in. Get your questions in. If you submitted them from last time, listen, I cleaned out the email. Resubmit whatever you want to ask us if you would like that. I know some were probably time sensitive, but if you have anything of us making a new conglomeration of people, we love those. Send them back in. We'll do all that, and we're ready to rock and roll now.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back. WWE first, folks, then over to AEW.
Hey, y'all, I'm CC Young. You're listening to Can Crushers. Don't you change the station. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Can Crushers. It is Mark. It is Mike. We have no bad blood for anybody this week. We didn't have any last week.
Bad blood. Yeah.
I just wanted to hear that one more time. That's why
you're
I said
welcome.
it.
You're so welcome.
Jenks, I'm going to ruin it right now. We both said we were going to. We tied.
Yeah.
Of course.
We knew it. We knew it.
It's just what it is. And you kind of foreshadowed this a little bit. By the way, we're not talking about SmackDown because everything from SmackDown led into Bad Blood, essentially. Oh, congratulations, though, to Candice LeRae.
Yeah, Speed Champion.
I hate this Speed Championship thing. I really do. That's why I really brought it up. But whatever. Have you been on the X to watch any of the matches?
No. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Listen, I get I can watch it over lunch, but it's not something I'm turning on over lunch.
No. Not at all. No. You're right. Go ahead.
I just have no interest in 3-minute matches that I don't think tell.
There's not a story involved.
Exactly.
Whatsoever.
It's hitting some moves and then being done with it.
Yeah. And you're telling the wrestlers you have 3 minutes. I wonder if they really like it. Like, I'd like to talk to Andrade or Candice and say, hey, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
These two now are all about being in the podcast room, by the way. Just an FYI. But you brought it up earlier. Bad Blood started amazing, and then it didn't.
It went through its ebbs and flows, I think.
It did. I didn't hate it. I'll put it that way. There was some stuff I want to talk about in each match, but in the gist of it, it was, sorry folks, the throwaway show. It was. It was
built around moments, 2 moments, and the Hell in a Cell match, which was done disservice by going on first. Because I think it just went, to your point, it went downhill after the Hell in a Cell match. Only until those 2 moments came at the end.
It did. And ready? I didn't think this was anywhere near a great Hell in a Cell match. So that's how much I really think about the pay-per-view.
I think the match itself, we might as well get into the match, but I think the match itself was, it wasn't top 5 for me.
No.
The fact that it reintroduced blood back to WWE for the significant matches and that, great. Fantastic.
I love that.
This is what we wanted from a Hell in a Cell match in its own right, is to have this kind of brutal violence that's told by the color that's provided with blood. Because that's what it should be. It should be this violent, intense match that should be feared. And it should be feared. Is it the best one that they've ever put on? No. And I don't think it's in the top 5 of the best ones they've ever put on.
I don't either. I don't know if it's top 10 for me.
That's fair.
They didn't. Hell in the Cell. We spoke about last week, we didn't know where Dom was going to hang. Are they going to have to pillage the Hell in the Cell's roof a little bit to get the thing down? They hung Dom in the aisle, and we'll get to that. Would they need, get in your heart, Jenks, what did they need the Cell for in this match?
Name recognition. They needed to put something that was brutal around it.
Because we've had so many no disqualification matches. We'll talk about the Donnybrook match, the Pope's match, the Mom's match, this match. Everything is just a no DQ match with added weapons.
Yeah.
They didn't have a place this year for a Hell in the Cell that they probably spent millions and trillions of dollars to make and do. They're like, oh shit, we better use this year, or it's going to be off the radar. This wasn't a Hell in a Cell match. This was a glorified 2 men being caged up in a no disqualification match with weapons. And I know, yes, that's every cage match before people jump on me. When did they really use the cage?
That's was going to be my point. If they had used the cage creatively in parts of this.
Even uncreatively. Use it. We've seen the same fucking spot a couple times.
Mm-hmm. If they use it, then it becomes a Hell in a Cell match. But to your point, when you keep the violence within the cage but don't use the cage, then it's nothing more than just a violent disqualification match, no DQ match within the cell. I always think back to the Usos and New Day in the Hell in a Cell when they strapped in, I think it was Xavier or one of them in the corner with kendo sticks, and they just sat there and whipped on him the whole time. That's innovative use of the cell. That was something new. That was a way to include the cell into the match and make it more brutal in nature. I mean, and people are just listening to us now being like, well, what more brutal do you need? Drew was stapled 15 times on his head because of a toolbox shot. Yeah, he was. And you know what? That's brutal, but I think at the same token, it wasn't, we are using the cell getting innovative with the cage.
Right.
Cage matches stand out because they use the cage more and more and more. To me, you know, in the 80s, the cage was the weapon.
Yeah.
You use the cage to grate people, to hit people, to just beat the shit out of people with it. We've gotten more away from that with time because of the brutality of it. I think we're reaching a point where we don't know what else we can do creative-wise with weapons. The limited weapons we have that WWE has at its disposal.
I said the toolbox was the star of this match.
Oh, 100%. Toolbox was the star.
And you know what I completely agree with? This is supposed to be the end-all of a feud, right? Brutality, and we spoke about it. WWE did a disservice to this match by tossing a towel in and the ref yelling. And I know 3/4 or 9/10 of you heard, I have to wipe the blood off because he's getting it in his ear.
Yeah.
We have way too much blood maybe for Peacock.
Yeah.
They had to wipe the blood off of Drew because it was too much.
Which is also making me think Drew wasn't supposed to bleed in this match.
Not that much.
But when the toolbox hit, it just split him open like a watermelon at that point.
Yeah.
There's not much you could do there.
No. You're going to bleed.
Because
he was also bled late in the match anyway, so he's got that sweat and everything that's helping it just gush out.
So, well, yeah,
like you saw, Punk's dried up 2 minutes after. Yeah.
Exactly. Punk's dried up. Drew bleeds, cleans it. He's got 2 minutes maybe, and then it's just Punk hit him again right on the spot, and it just came back down.
Yeah.
So the brutality was there. It just wasn't. The cell wasn't used to do it.
We had a bag of beads.
That I get the story being told, but no. That's as bad as Jericho throwing dice on the ground or whatever the hell he's been throwing on the ground the past couple weeks or whatever it is. I'll tell you what, the second brutal spot of this match that made me wince was when Drew went for the Claymore and hit his back right on the edge of the stairs.
Yeah.
Because that looked like it broke his back.
It hurt, yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that felt good.
All in all, though, the story of the match, the moves of the match, I thought it was great. I really do. Like I said, this was definitely for me the match of the night. If you're going to force a Hell in a Cell, make sure there's something innovated. We're in that time frame of life now, and I hate to be in that time frame or in that category, but don't just have the match because we need to have one a year.
Have the match mean something when you have it, and they did. This time they did. This rivalry, it did. It was perfect for this type of match. Get innovative with it, and how do you use the cell to further the story?
Yep. But we're not going Mankind Undertaker probably ever again.
No, God no. If they do, expect an airbag, because that's what we saw with Shane in that. Let's give them credit as well. Oh man, it was good to see a steel cage steel cell, not the red cell.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Stupid.
Nothing stupid with it.
All in all, good match. We get to Nia and Bayley. Back and forth, but it just seemed off. There just seemed like somebody wasn't carrying her load. And it's just Nia.
I will say it was weird seeing Nia do like Hurricane Rana and then like submission moves and that. I was like, okay, this is a different match, so I'm engaged because she's doing other things, but it's not working.
Right. That's what got my wonkiness, essentially. I'm like, this isn't, Nia should be, and this is no disrespect. She's just, people are like, oh, that was disrespect, Mark. Nia's a bigger woman. Nia is Bam Bam. Nia is Vader. Nia is the dogs. Welcome home, Kimberly. Nia is Bundy. You know, use what you have. She's supposed to be this strength, this big, massive woman that is what was the immovable force or whatever like that. That should be her character. She should never. Bruiser Brody never went from being a crazy motherfucker to I'm going to put a sharpshooter on somebody.
Yeah.
They just clash with Nia so much that they want to make her fit what the women are in the division. So this might not be a knock on her. This has to be a knock on WWE, I think. They're trying to make her fit with all the others, essentially. She's not that other. But they don't have anybody else to put her in. We can't see Nia Ripley 12 months out of the year. That would be somebody. You're Nia Gonzalez since she's back. It was a clash for me.
Yeah, I think it was trying too hard to push Nia into a narrative that just does not fit her. But that's what WWE needs, though, is that separation of state. Not everybody needs to do cartwheels. Not everybody needs to be this powerhouse. Some people just need to be bulldozers that can run through people. Bulldozers can be strong as hell, but run you over at the same time.
Look at Killdozer.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, I do remember that guy. That was a pull. But you just need that separation of state. And I think with whatever storyline they're trying to perpetuate with Tiffy and bringing Tiffy into this fold, she needs to have Nia be this monster heel or this monster that just bulldozes through people and takes them out. That's all.
Yeah.
That dynamic works.
I'm now thinking that Tiffy's going to make her cash in a triple threat. Because Nia's going to have whomever squashed in the ring. Tiffy's going to run in. Nia's going to do another splash. She's like, do one more. She'll pull the ropes down. Nia will be on the outside, not able to get back in because she fell outside the ring. Tiffy's like, hey, I guess I can be a triple threat. 1, 2, 3. But I don't see Tiffy beating Nia because they want to continue being friends, I think, for a little bit. But that will break it when she takes the title from her. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the one note I wrote in here is how many ways are we going to skin a cat here? Because how many ways are you going to try to fake a cash in for Tiffy in that?
Right. By the way, kudos to Jessica Carr.
Oh, man, she took a spot and a half.
Yeah, she did.
That was a new ref bump for me. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but...
I don't either. It worked.
It did work.
The match, like I said, a little bit wonky. Still not the worst one of the night for me. Not the worst one of the night.
That coming up next?
It is coming up next. Exactly. I was waiting for you to swallow. Priest and Finn was nothing but, I don't know, and we'll get to Raw because I was really stoked about Raw. It was nothing more than an 8:37 match on Raw for me.
Do you want to know what my notes were for this match? Nothing.
Yeah.
There's no notes. I had nothing to contribute here. I thought it was interesting that Finn was going for coup de grace on the back.
Yeah.
To Finn or to Damien, but at the end of the day, I was just like, nothing. We talked about this last week when we predicted it. There's been nothing to push this into another echelon, to make us care about this match besides the fact that Finn turned on Damien 2 months ago. There's just been nothing. The focus has been Rhea and Dom, nothing with Finn and Damien besides them being side characters in this whole thing.
Yeah. And of course, after this, we find out, essentially after Bad Blood, and we'll get to there, we find out that Priest and Rhea, they're going to go their own ways, whatever the hell I called them last week. I think it was a horrible reference.
It was. No more Terror Twins.
Yeah.
I
didn't care about it, though. So we'll move on to, my God, I love Triple H making fun of himself, being terrorizing in WCW and the mockery. He was mocking Khan in a lot of these numbers. You know this, right?
He was, yeah, I know.
This is the greatest show we've ever had. 10,000 people are here, or whatever, This was mockery. Is it the wars that we used to, most of us are used to? No, but Triple H lived them, and he's going to get every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we love AEW, Tony is completely believing himself sometimes when he says, the greatest announcement in the world,
Yeah. And it turns out it's just Steve coming back for, or
what was the camera.
Wasn't the one just like the pre-sale code for All Out or All In?
Which was like
18 letters.
18 letters long. Yeah. So essentially, let's get to Triple H's thing. I think this is a horrible idea. This belt. I think it's horrible. Horrible.
I'm going to give it's only for the Saudi shows. So obviously they're just doing it because Saudi's like, whoa, you're doing all of this fun stuff. What's in it for us?
We already have one belt in Saudi that hasn't been defended since Braun Strowman won it.
And now we're going to have 3, I think. It's going to be up to 3. And I don't mind the champion versus champion premise of it all. But again, to your point, if we're only going to
Survivor Series,
that is Survivor Series. But again, if your champions are busy at Survivor Series, what are you going to do? Because we're pretty sure Cody is going to be very busy.
Yeah, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just saying they don't have much for Gunther going on in Survivor Series.
Yeah, which is now, are we going to give Cody a second belt to build him up even further to go into Survivor Series, and Gunther's going to get left high and dry.
So Gunther's taking 2 losses this year?
Maybe. He might be taking 3 if Goldberg gets his way.
Right? What the fuck? That was my next asterisk.
I'm good with the callback on the Bret Hart thing, poking fun at him and all that. Why are we setting up a whole story around this?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did Goldberg ask to lose to Gunther? Because I'm hoping so.
I would be pissed. Royally pissed. If Goldberg beats Gunther.
If Goldberg beats Gunther, what's the fuck? I think it just does the disservice against the entire Triple H.
Yeah.
Reign.
Gunther's like, I'm out.
You should just go. Go back home. Go back to Austria. Go to AEW at that point. Because
he's way too big.
Well, he is.
Used in AEW. He'll be
that's true.
Lance.
Yeah.
That's what's sad. Sets up a match. Essentially, we'll get to on Raw. Sammy comes out and attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Liv, Rhea, the Shark Tank's in the aisle. I was disappointed right off the bat.
Yeah.
And the shenanigans amok around the Shark Tank, I had a feeling he was either going to climb down. When has there been a Shark Tank with a chain around the bottom of it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's going to play into this. That's how he's getting out. He's going to figure out how to tie this chain in a perfect... No, I didn't see him falling out of it.
Becoming a piñata.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade. I hate saying this, but I will. This match ended sort of kind of in a botch.
I don't think it was supposed to end in DQ. 100% it wasn't, because Raquel threw her back on top for the pin.
Yeah, she was doing her spot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is on the ref.
I think the ref was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Directly staring at Raquel in the ring. What do you do?
Well, even when she attacked Rhea in the aisleway, the ref was right on top of it. So there's no way the ref can say, "Oh, I didn't see a thing." Because did you just go blind in that moment? No.
Yeah.
There was no way that was going to get to the ending that they needed it to get to.
I think it would have been better, and it would have cleaned up a little bit of the story, because, I mean, not a huge Rhea fan. I appreciate her, but she could say she gets another title shot whenever she wants.
Yeah.
1, she won the match. 2, she still hasn't been beaten. Yada, yada, yada.
That's true. Not beaten clean. So
we'll get the Raw, so we'll digest on that. Overall, before the shenanigans happened, I liked it. Like, they were doing a little bit different from their other matches. Mm-hmm. It kept my interest. I mean, we both had Liv winning anyway.
Right.
But
I would agree. I mean, it wasn't a bad match overall. But when the end happens, it's kind of like, all right, well, we're struggling now.
Yeah. And we get to the main event. Roman and Cody and Solo and Jacob. And who called him Fat 2? Did you hear that? They legit called him Fat 2. I'm like, wait, what? Fatu? Why'd you call him Fat 2? Were they making fun of him doing that? Like, that really, that stuck in my mind all week. I'm like, are we supposed to be calling him Fat 2? Not that he's big, but is this a joke that we're supposed to be doing? I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's family lineage at that point with the Fatu name. Right. You look at Rikishi was Fatu at one point. So, I don't know. Was it just a slip of the tongue and then they had to kind of roll with it at the same token?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I was hoping. You go first. What'd you think of this?
I think I thought it went a little bit differently than what I anticipated, because I didn't think Roman was going to get dominated at the beginning of the match, kind of. I thought we were going to get, okay, Roman's going to come in, do a couple things, Jacob comes in, they'll separate somehow, and then we reset. Cody gets the bulk of the beat down. Roman gets a save and whatnot. So from that aspect, I thought that was kind of interesting that they gave Roman a little bit of the beating, but it also makes sense.
He's been off.
So he's not going to be that well-versed in the ring. I think overall it was a solid tag team match. I wasn't expecting much but shenanigans when it went into the main event.
Right.
So I think that's kind of where I was at. I wasn't expecting much out of it besides shenanigans and us getting at least one return, which I thought was going to be what was in the middle of the match, or that happened towards the end of the match.
Oh,
Jimmy returned. Yeah.
We kind of both thought it was only. If you listened last week, we both kind of thought it was just going to be Jimmy.
Yeah.
And the hug, and I thought, okay, they're going to leave. And I kind of knew then I thought they were going to leave Cody decimated.
Yeah.
Outright. I didn't expect them to go back. The new bloodline still had the numbers, so how the fuck did they... Numbers! Oh my god, the number! They still had the numbers.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted... Roman and Jimmy definitely weren't getting laid down. I understand that. Then the ending was just long. To get to The Rock.
Yeah.
And what gang signs was he throwing up at the end? Sorry, that's probably inappropriate. 1, 2, 3, you're dead.
Yeah.
To who?
That's the greatest mystery, right? Well, it has to be to Roman, obviously.
Right.
Or, well, there's 3 of them, so 1, 2, 3, y'all are done. But I think to that point, I thought it was interesting, even before that, they had Jimmy give Roman the choice to save him or not. And it's almost like that was supposed to be the decision point of, if he chooses not to, okay, this is just a family dispute that he picked up somebody because he didn't have any. He teamed with Cody, but we can look past it. It was the choice to take it one step further, I think, helps solidify why The Rock had to step out and say, you need to handle your business somehow.
So, let's predict down the line. I think we get Rock Roman before we get Rock Cody.
I agree, but the news has come out. Rock can't do WrestleMania 41.
Right.
So are we getting that Rumble?
I'm thinking. Because then you can get Part 3 at WrestleMania.
Or...
because he's the final boss for a reason.
He is. Or are we getting Cody Rock, Netflix Day 1, Roman Rock, Rumble, Roman takes the title from Rock, and then we're revisiting Cody Roman for the title at WrestleMania?
No, I think Roman's the chaser. Because Cody was the chaser for 2. I think Roman's got to be the chaser for this one. I don't think The Rock wins.
He may not.
And I think a bigger sell on Netflix is Roman Rock. Compared to Rock Cody. Because then Roman can win the Rumble.
Right. But if you're going to do... I think they're doing both in that month.
Oh, yes.
So how do you get Cody Rock, let's say at Rumble, for the title if Rock's not...
Survivor Series.
See, I would say he has to beat Roman to get the title shot at Rumble.
He owns TKO, remember?
Yeah, but I think they'll play it off as it's Rock Roman, winner gets title shot at Rumble against Cody. Roman's then lost for a couple weeks and says he has to go through the Rumble, go through it all to win it. He'll go through it all to win it to face Rock, but Cody ends up beating Rock anyways. So I think we get back to Roman Cody, but I think Rock has to beat Roman first to get to that match.
Oh, yeah. I think if you're saying Netflix is Rock Roman.
Rock beats Roman.
Right.
Rock, Cody beats Rock. Roman wins Rumble. Boom.
Yeah. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. I just really think Netflix Day 1-ish or whatever we're going to call this. There's going to be more than you're going to get in a Rumble, I think.
Oh, yeah. Rumble's playing second fiddle to Netflix.
This
Day
year.
1-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever we're calling that. Yeah.
100%.
That's it on that. What do you, as a beer rating out of 6, what are you giving this pay-per-view? My number's stuck. It's been stuck since Saturday.
I give it a 3.5.
I only gave it a 3.
Hell in a Cell carried it.
Hell in a Cell lost 0.5 because of what we discussed.
I get it. But I think
so essentially, the Hell in a Cell got like I don't want to say a 5 because I shit on it, but got a 4. And everything else just balanced it and brought it down to a 3.
Yeah.
You're essentially there. You just have a 0.5 ahead of me.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a 5-star match according to Meltzer.
It's according to Meltzer, which is probably the first 5-star match in WWE in forever then.
It's been I think since Seth and Cody, right? In Hell in a Cell?
Yeah. In that, with the torn bicep? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll give them that one. All right.
That one was great, yeah.
Yeah, that one was great. Transition to Raw. I watched Raw because I knew it was only going to be 2 hours, and I fucking loved it. I loved every second of a 2-hour Raw. Well, not, we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of overlap with the segments, too, because now we're only 2 hours, so people got to pass in the night. So, Seth and Punk passing in the night, this guy, that gal, whatever. A lot of passing in the night moments just to get everybody on the show.
You know what I would have passed the night in?
What?
Sexy Red. Why did she, what? Let's welcome Sexy Red to Raw. She barely said anything and, this is what happened to Bad Blood. Like, they didn't even let her, she said, hey, St. Louis! That's why we had to see Sexy Red?
Just name recognition.
Nothing against, I know nothing about her.
I know she was on NXT at one point. She came to Erie for a concert.
Oh, you
way back
really
when.
Didn't go.
No, and neither did most of the town.
Moochie probably would have won.
And that's no knock. It was just nobody. There was still a ton of tickets left when she came through.
We would have been asked to go from working at the Seawolves. Like, you guys want to go to this? Go to this so we can fill the arena a little bit.
Yeah, because us 5 make the difference in the world.
Right. How long's Punk out? Seth Punk is Mania.
I'm saying Survivor Series. I think he pops in at War Games, either like for just a pre-show, hey, how you doing type thing.
Okay, I'll give you that then.
I think he's making appearances, but he's not wrestling for a couple months. At least till Rumble, maybe.
Yeah. But his Mania match is set, right?
Oh, 100%. That was what that was.
Yeah. That was the classic stare down. So they have those picture.
There's night one.
Yeah, there it is. Or is he hurt and they're hiding it?
I don't know if he's hurt. I do. Well, he's hurt after Hell in a Cell, I think.
Yes, right.
But I think he's more.
You don't have anything to do with him until Seth.
Well, exactly, and they don't want to burn that bridge so quickly, so they're not going to take the chance of him wrestling and getting hurt because he's up there in age. It's going to happen. With the tricep, it was a freak injury, so now I think they're going to be extra protective of him.
Yep.
So you're right. They're going to kind of shelf him a little bit. Maybe he pops up here and there to kind of give, hey, how you do? Run down this person, that person. So
stir shit with Seth.
Exactly. Pop into the Rumble, and then we're going to get full visceral reaction on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Agreed. Essentially, that's Seth challenges Bronson. Seth isn't worried about him right now, so he's more worried about Bronson.
Well, as he should be. I mean, the guy just hit him with 6 tsunamis, which he wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to do. He was letting the crowd dictate his night. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that. The officials were probably going nuts.
Oh yeah, they were probably like, no, don't do this. But then he's like, oh. People are saying they want more. Yeah.
I love it. Keep going, Bronson. That's why we love him. Jay and Woods. Yeah.
It was to further the New Day potentially splitting up.
Right, so
thing.
That could have been... Jay didn't need to be in this. It's just Jay had nothing to do with Bad Blood.
Well, agreed, but also think Jay's a perfect catalyst for this because the Usos and the New Day had their rivalry in the 2010s.
I didn't even think about that.
If you add that layer into it, this is a whole other thing on top of that.
That's Krill. I agree. I didn't think about that, but you're right. It's perfect. And then Braun coming out, doing his thing.
Just spearing everybody left and right. I think that one... Okay, so he's not a face anymore.
Right.
Or maybe he never was. But to me, it's... Did it need to happen here?
Right.
How many stories are you trying... Like, why do we need 4 stories here? But, again, this is going to be the result of 2-hour Raw.
Do you think this is a test to see what they do for Netflix?
I think these next 3 months are. They're trying to figure out what the hell they can throw out the wall to make it stick. Yeah. So, okay, people walking in front of each other, hips passing in the night type thing. Okay, cool. Then we have to say, okay, we have to put 4 stories into this tag team somehow. How do we get this? Or this match, we have to add 2 stories coming out of this. Xavier getting more heel, Braun Breaker destroying everybody. Let's combine it. So I think you're right in that regard of they're going to be throwing shit at the wall the next 2 months to perfect Netflix before it goes on Netflix.
And they're also programming us to remember that it's going to be that crazy when they go to Netflix.
Exactly. But I think the key difference between when they go to Netflix and when they're on USA, there ain't no commercial breaks on Netflix. So I guess the question gets begged, are we getting 2 full hours of Raw on Netflix, or are we getting hour 30 because that's what the commercials would have been?
Right? That's a lot jam-packed then. Because essentially in 3 months, you're cutting your show in half.
Yeah.
Full-fledged.
Yeah, you're really shortening it up.
I think Netflix, we will get a lot more backstage stuff because if anybody's ever been, now I'm going to ruin this for people that's never been to a live WWE show. They change that ring apron every other match.
Yeah.
On Netflix, there's going to be a lot of like, oh, we can't show that, so we have to swing the camera to here, we have to do this, we have to send them backstage, to give the ring crew that 30, 45 seconds that they need.
Yeah. 100%. So every match is going to be bookend. Backstage, 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 all the way through the night.
A little bit more shots on the commentators.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get more commentary from Joe Tessitore.
I love him, by the way.
I do too. He's very good.
Yeah. And I like those two together. I really do. Why do we get the big spot of PFR with the burning? Then I'm like, okay, I know they're having a match later on tonight. I understand that. And I understand, Pure Fusion, if everybody's like, what is Mark talking about? Oh, I missed this. They had a big PFR and it was burning across the screen. So I'm like, okay, here comes the push for them. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Then they lose the fucking match. To 5 randos.
No, they've been brawling with all of these women.
I know, but there was more chemistry with Vega, Chance, Carter, Nat, and Lyra than Pure Fusion and Unholy Union.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think Unholy Union and Pure Fusion they never worked together to begin with. They were always on opposite sides of the coin, right?
Right.
But Pure Fusion just has not done it for me besides yelling at the top of their lungs.
Sad thing, nothing against any of them. Like, Sonya has just fallen off.
Well, Sonya has not been able to get her feet under her.
No.
And
there was times I thought she was going to be the one to beat Asuka. When Asuka was still, I'm like, oh my god, they're pumping Sonya up. This was years ago, but
oof. The flip side of this is Baszler needs she's just a animal when it comes to submissions and that. So she needs somebody to talk for her, to hype her up, be the hype woman. Sonya can do that, but then Zoe has the talent to be a wrestler, but she also needs that kind of spokeswoman but she just doesn't fit the group like those two could. It's a weird combination when you try to add in the third wheel as opposed to just the two that could probably work together the best.
Right. Exactly. It just... PFR could be as awesome as Retribution could have been. But they're doing the same thing with them. In my eyes.
So, okay. I gotta go back now. PFR, when you're describing this, the flaming thing, are you talking about the circle with the P, the F, and the R in it?
Yeah.
That's something totally different, I think. Now that you've been saying this. So they're Pure Fusion Collective, the three of them.
Oh!
So, okay, it tripped me up first. I'm like, he's saying PFR, but okay, maybe it means the collective. The PFR you're seeing, I think, is the War Raiders getting everybody hyped for them coming back.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, when you look at the PFR, those are actually the northern, or like the Viking symbols, runes and all that. Nordic
I'm more excited
runes. Now. Yeah.
All right.
So that's War Raiders.
I was mad because I'm like, you just fucking gave them this burning thing and then you buried them.
I was trying to figure out PFR, and then I'm like, wait, maybe it isn't collective. And then I'm like, no, it is collective. So I needed to reorient myself.
Oh, well, I'm an idiot then.
No, you're good. You're good because
everybody's like, Mark, you're an idiot. So I'm all right. I'll take a drink.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But I think that's for, at least I assume that's for the War Raiders because that's Viking symbols and alphabet and that. But Pure Fusion Collective I still stand by my statements. They're just not clicking as a group right now.
They're not.
And I don't know how you fix that.
And you break them up.
Well, there you go.
It's horrible to say that, but you just break them up.
I do think Sonya by herself could be fine.
Yes, she could. I want her by herself again. We're getting Miz and R-Truth this coming week for a match, okay? Sheamus and Pete in a Donnybrook. It was a banger.
It was Donnybrook.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it should have been on the pay-per-view, to be honest.
Should have.
That spot off of the barrels.
Would you have taken Finn and Priest off of the pay-per-view and slid this in?
Yes.
There's more bad blood in this match than there was in that.
Oh, 100%. I think, you know what, I would even taken the SmackDown Women's Championship match off.
Yeah.
Because I think it would have made sense.
Listen, let's call a spade a spade. You could have taken anything besides the opener and the closer off of the pay-per-view and slid this in.
Yeah. I would agree.
And it would have been, I probably would have gave it a 4 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't have barrel spots in a cell. I mean, that's too much. It's too much.
What else do you want to talk about? Sammy Gunther? Hey.
It was a good match. I didn't expect Sammy to get the win at all, but
he didn't either. But everything, as much as we're shitting on it a little bit, you're sending your stuff through the computer, by the way.
You're welcome.
That's okay. It just was so much more upbeat. The matches could have been garbage, but I was more happy. Not correct, by the way. Don't be going out and saying that. I was more happy knowing that it was 2 hours and it was going to be action-packed.
Yeah.
And I really think it was. the little stuff with Cody in the back, is this, is that. Like, everything just rolled, and I'm like, that's what you stop 3 hours. No, you know what should be 3 hours? Your pay-per-views.
Yeah. But now we're going to run into the SmackDown issue where they're going to be 3 hours now.
I know.
So we're just trading one spade for the other.
And they have less going on in SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, than Raw.
And Raw was putrid some days.
Yeah. It's going to be rough. I think it's going to be...
Are we getting 29-minute promos in ring?
Maybe. Certainly not getting banger after banger for 29 minutes.
No.
I do believe everything is going to be rough until the draft.
Yeah.
Because until they can feed SmackDown people...
They need to rebalance. They need to rebalance by Netflix. And yeah. I don't know if they know a way to do it.
The only way to do it is reset the calendar at the end of the calendar year. December, reset it.
Yep.
Do the draft then.
Makes sense. Will it happen?
No.
No. No. Not at all. Anything else on WWE you want to bring up?
No, I got nothing.
Slide into AEW now, or do you want to do all AEW in segment 3?
What do you think? Should we just cover Dynamite now? Because it wasn't anything spectacular.
Well,
so.
it was titled Tuesday, first off.
It was titled Tuesday on Dynamite, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened the first 20 minutes because I got home late from something. But I did. The first thing I saw was something that I fast-forwarded anyway.
Was it Commander and Hologram?
Yeah, sure the fuck it was.
Well, you missed Brody and Darby basically jarring at each other a little bit to kind of get under each other's skin, which was good. I mean, it was nice to see a little bit of build there, but we know the history. We know everything about it. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure these two are friends behind the scenes, so they're going to be doing something fucking stupid when it comes to Saturday. So whatever you guys can dream, it's going to fucking probably happen in the ring between those two. Before that match, we also saw, this is where I'm going to combine these two. Because I know you skipped it, the match, but I'm going to combine the segment before it and the match because of what happened at the end of it.
I did see what happened at the end of it. I watched it in fast forward, so I won't lie.
Right, but Jake Roberts trades Lance Archer to Don Callis for assets that I didn't realize Callis even had rights to at this point. LFI.
Yeah, I didn't. When did that happen?
Why is that? How is that a trade? I don't understand here. What did I miss? When did Callis take over LFI? Yeah.
I'm really perplexed now because this is actually, I didn't look back at anything and say, oh my God, I heard this or anything. I'm really perplexed by this now.
Because it was these two, they talked about a trade and Lance went with Callis. So Callis now owns Lance's rights.
Well, there's a big loser in the Callis family.
There's a big loser, yeah. And then when Jake gets LFI. Which he had Callis didn't have association with before that. So I don't know how this happened. So now,
LFI with Jake does fit.
It does fit. It's just, how did we get here? I don't even know how the fuck we got here.
Right.
Okay. But, hey, whatever. Sets up 2 out of 3 falls with the Beast and Hologram on Saturday night.
I hope it's 2 falls.
It's going to be 3.
I know. I felt for Briscoe when he was talking with Lexi backstage. I really did. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he can play the heartstrings better than a lot of people.
He can. And he turned on the serious side versus the goofy side here. I like this a lot. This is going to help him a lot, I think, with Jericho on Saturday night.
It better.
I know.
It better.
I know.
Garcia's here to stay. Listen, no disrespect. I love Danny Garcia. I love when I go to Buffalo and I see him, and then it is unbelievable, crazy up there for him. He is small.
Yeah.
No disrespect to him. He'd kick my ass in a heartbeat, but he is not a WWE guy. When they were saying, oh, he's thinking about going to WWE. He doesn't fit that mold whatsoever. He would only hit NXT and stick and stay there. Probably have an amazing run in NXT. He's AEW through and through.
Yeah. He is an AEW born bred, run of the mill. Maybe a pillar at this point.
Maybe we'll talk about that in end of the year.
We might need to.
The crushes. Monet talking with Renee about her double title match. I wasn't excited about that at all. Like, Title Tuesday was fucking... They should have just skipped it this week. Hey, there's no Dynamite this week because baseball's on.
I don't even know why they call it Title Tuesday, to be honest.
Because her match. It's the only title on the line, right?
That's what I'm saying. It was her... She was the only title on the line, and then they had some champions show up.
This was a glorified, horrible Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
It just got 2 hours compared to the Battle of the Belt for 1 hour.
That's getting one. Yep.
Willow, Nyla, Saraya, and Hayter. Winner takes on Mariah because Britt's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had communication with Britt for a while. Kidding. No, I haven't really. But I'm just saying, like, they're not ready yet for Britt, Mariah.
Yeah.
Mariah needs a run. Or, does Willow get it?
I don't think Willow's getting it. I think...
Don't ruin your prediction.
I'm not.
Okay.
Where am I? Who knows? Oh.
Ooh.
I think with Willow, I think their long-term plan is Britt. So this being sick, which, I mean, she posted a video. She legitimately was sick and trapped in a hurricane at the same time, unintentionally. But I think I truly believe they want to build up to Britt, despite everything's going on right now. It just seems like that's the person they want, at least to have the big match with.
Britt can continue to battle to get, like, maybe it's 2 months down the line. So Britt's got to, even if Willow loses, Britt's got to go through Willow.
Yeah.
We don't know the association with Britt and Hayter right now.
Right.
They've kept that away, and Hayter was in this match. Maybe Britt has to beat all these four to get to then said Mariah, because Britt's been off for a while and worried about Monet than anything else. You're right. I think it is Britt Mariah down the line. It was just you couldn't fast fucking stream this that fast.
No, I
said a lot of F's in that sentence, by the way.
You did fucking do that. I think what they were planning on, Willow was going to be the number one contender whatsoever coming out of this week.
Right.
That was going to be the case, but it just seems like Britt is the next milestone for Mariah to get through, which I think is going to be Full Gear, or maybe it's World's End, whatever they dictate as the next big pay-per-view. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The learning tree was god-awful backstage with Rocky.
It always is, so. And did you notice it was filmed in Pitt?
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh?
Did.
And that stuck out to me like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the Pitt Panther side. You guys couldn't figure out 3 feet down the hall?
Who couldn't be there? Why not do it in a locker room where there's no pit side? The visiting locker room.
Visiting locker room, or 3 feet down the hall where it's just white wall.
Right.
Not in front of the Panther.
Right. Who couldn't be there?
Yeah, who couldn't be there? Exactly.
Oh, shit, we got to record this for next week. Okay.
Who can be there? Not I, not I, not I.
Bad. I don't know who Jay White beat because I saw him come out and then I saw the match was over.
His name was Cody Chun.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. He just beat Cody Chun. Beat his ass.
Then he's ready for Hangman.
He wants Hangman.
Hook's looking for whoever beat his dad up. He was going to beat up Kip. Cage crew feels for him. Is Hook going with Christian in time?
I don't think he's going with Christian in time.
Not.
No, I think it's going to end up being he's got to beat Christian for the TNT title or whatever, or not TNT title, but he's got to beat Christian at some point in time, whether it's for the title shot or if it's just,
glad you said that.
Because why? What are you thinking?
Because prior to Christian winning this title shot that caught everybody off guard, essentially, we have heard the rumors that Hook's going to be on a mega push.
Yeah.
This is how he gets his push.
Mm-hmm.
He'll run through these guys one at a time, gets to Christian, he's like, hey, put your title shot up. This is how Hook gets his title shot and gets a push for whomever has the title at said time.
Yeah.
That case is going to be on the line because Christian is not cashing in anytime soon.
No. I don't think he ever was.
No. It's Hook's to win.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Mercedes against Emmy. Wow, this was okay.
It was a match.
Yeah, this was fucking horrible. Like, this was...
We knew
this was probably the first Dynamite that I fast forwarded like an hour and a half of in a long time. Nothing got me going.
Yeah. I mean, we knew Monet was going to win it, obviously, and then Chris and Monet have been going at it, so now we got Camille and Stat.
Right.
Kind of staring eye to eye with each other, which, again, Camille has not looked like a brick house, falling over, being beat. She has no presence whatsoever.
She doesn't. She's losing the match to Stat.
Yep.
To get to Monet.
Exactly.
And then maybe she gets fired. And I don't mean this mean like from AEW. She gets fired from Monet. And then we get maybe the real
Camille
that we've seen crush in NWA.
Yeah.
She has taken a step back. And not her. But in her story, she has taken a big step back.
Yep.
Stokely in a private party was just fucking horrible. Unbelievably horrible. I have nothing to say.
That's fair.
The Ricochet Will stuff. Top Flight are pissed off at the Bucks. You go first. Danielson, Yuta, Claudio, Pac.
I mean, that was a very good tag match. I was disappointed Yuta didn't turn on him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be straight up. I thought Yuta was going to turn on him, and we were just going to be all against Danielson to end his career. But no. Yuta was still holding strong, keeping the faith, as it will. I didn't really have anything outside of that. Like, nothing popped for this. It was just, okay.
It was a tag match.
Yeah, it's a tag match to get us to the end result, which now puts the trios titles in jeopardy. Because why did we give them the trios titles if we're going to pull this shit?
Right.
They're not...
Predictions are coming up.
But
maybe this is just Danielson saying, hey, I want one more tag match before... We've ruined this months ago, by the way, folks. Before my last match, I want one more tag match with my buddies. They're all friends.
Yeah.
We just need to get me and Yuta on the same page somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do this. But it's going to lead to this. And this is going to come in our predictions.
Yeah.
Anything else on AEW? Like AEW, this was a horrible go-home show.
Yeah, it literally just...
I know
what it is.
Is Collision on tonight as we speak, or Rampage? Rampage is, right?
I think it's both, because I think it was a 3-hour swing.
What will happen? You guys know, we don't.
Yeah.
So, all right, we come back. We'll come back with WrestleDrea predictions and wrap this drunk fest up.
What is up, Cheeseheads? This is the Gorgonzola Rock and Roller, the Sultan of Swiss, the amazing Asiago, your favorite part of the charcuterie board. I am the cheese, and you're listening to the Can Crushers podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, and I hope you'll listen again.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for not our dreams, but our predictions. We got to predict WrestleDrea 2024 for AEW. Mark, you ready?
I am. I've been dreaming about this, like a daydream believer about this card for a while.
Daydream believer. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. We have 10 matches announced so far.
Of course we do.
Only 10.
As of recording.
I will also say, according to the AEW site, they are really advertising Swerve's return as well, so maybe we'll dive a little bit into what we think will happen there. We kind of alluded to what we think is going to happen there anyways, outside of me giving straight up what I've already thought was going to happen.
I think there's two big returns.
Okay. All right, there we go.
You just want to go there first?
Yeah, let's start there. We'll go to the 0-hour match after that. So yeah, what do you think? You go first.
Well, Swerve, we're not writing this down.
Right.
But Swerve comes back, makes a big to-do. I think people come out, the MVP crew, and then Bob makes his way to AEW, and we run with this for a while.
Yeah, this is definitely either, I've said could be he's going to replace Nana and join the MVP crew, or it's going to be Swerve versus the MVP crew, whatever it's called, Hurt Syndicate, Business.
I think it's a Bob Swerve. It's a match.
I think that's probably
not on WrestleDrea. I think Swerve is going to not attack somebody.
WrestleDrea, yeah. So I think you're right with that. But what is Swerve? Would it be if it was actually Swerve joining them against not and somehow thrown Nana to the wayside?
See, you're on that lickety split. We're both on it that Swerve ends up there, right?
Yes. I'm just interested how you think it's going to happen.
I think Nana costs him the match down the line against Bob, and he kind of gets mad at Nana he doesn't want any more dancing or Swerve when you drive. I think he wants to be more tough-based. Not that he's not tough, but you know what I mean. No more
serious.
Of this. Yeah, serious.
That's why I think it happened. I could see it happening Saturday, because I think he's gone home for a month. He's reflected. He didn't beat Hangman, which he's beaten several times before. This is the one time he doesn't beat Hangman. It's all of this. We're having fun. We're doing what we do. We're dancing, whatnot. I think Swerve's all about the business at this point, and I think this is where MVP swoops in and steals Swerve. It could happen here. I could also see them going into the program as well with Bob and him, but I could see it where he just joins MVP as the leader of the group, as the main attraction for the group.
I am going to miss dancing a little bit, though.
As you should. Who wouldn't miss Swerve when you drive?
Right. Yeah. See, I drive with one hand. You do the two hand.
Well, I throw my coffee out the window.
This is why people want to see us.
Yeah, because they know we're being idiots right now. All right.
Go ahead.
Outside of our amazing dance skills that nobody can see, let's go to the matches. 0 Hour, the one match on 0 Hour, World Television Championship for Ring of Honor. Atlantis Jr. and Brian Cage. I'll go first here and say Atlantis Jr. is probably keeping this title.
I would hope so.
There's just no way Brian Cage.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Brian Cage. Nothing against him. Just not used correct because he's a big man.
Exactly. 100%. Just never will get that title.
What Brian Cage are we getting? Animal with the face paint, Wolverine, RoboCop. What Brian Cage do we get?
Regular Brian Cage?
He hasn't been around in a while.
Book of Taz.
Go ahead.
All right. Mark's favorite match of the night. Hologram versus the Beast Mordos.
I really love Mordos. I do. I really want to pick Mordos in this. I'm just going to use my head, though. As much as I hate to say this, man, Roosh, Mordos, and whatever the hell his name is, Kalisto, yeah, that guy. Roosh needs to leave AEW.
They've done him a disservice.
These guys are going to be the punching bags.
Yeah.
Of the group. There's no way Hologram's losing this. As much as I want him to.
They've hyped up his winning record since being in AEW this whole time. They're not going to make him drop it here. Beast Mordos, he's going to get maybe a pinfall or a fluke win.
I think he gets the first one quick, and Hologram has to fight back injured for 2 matches.
Or he gets disqualified in 1. Mordos picks up the second win, and then Hologram's got to pick up the third. Or we're just kidding ourselves, and Hologram's going to win 2 straight and just be done with it.
Fine.
So much happiness right there. All right. Let's do the ROH World title. The Learning Tree. Chris Jericho is challenging Briscoe for the title. I'm picking Briscoe, but I'm very fearful they would give it to the Learning Tree.
I think after what the promo that we just talked about on Title Tuesday, it would be a disservice to give it to the Learning Tree.
Yeah.
I'm picking Briscoe as well. And I have the same fears. Like, we don't know, is Briscoe's contract almost done? Nothing against him, but is he almost ready to go too? He came back with his brother. His brother passed. He wasn't sure if he was going to stay. All of this. Is this a way for him to kind of ride off into the sunset? Does Jericho keep it then for a long time? Is ROH... Yeah. Listen, I don't know. Is ROH ratings hurting right now? I think they would hurt more if it's Jericho holding the title, or is it because Jericho's he's still a big name. As much as wrestling people fucking hate him right now.
Right.
He's got a name attached to him. Is it for a TV deal, what's this show going to be called? Shockwave or whatever?
Whatever, yeah.
Is it for that, essentially? Is that what it's going to be ROH Shockwave?
Maybe. That could be.
Jericho carrying that in is a little bit bigger than Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
I'm going with Briscoe because 2 reasons. He got me on the whole sentimental thing, and nobody wants Jericho to be a champion again.
No, we just want Jericho to retire, but he won't do that. Okay. So, all right. Darby versus Brody King.
I couldn't swallow my drink fast enough because I didn't know you were going right there. Holy fuck.
One throw you a curveball.
Death and dismemberment.
Yeah.
You're going to hold a gun to my head to say pick somebody.
But it's going to be destruction and mayhem.
Both? Neither? Am I going first? I'll go first.
Yeah, you were good. Yeah, you were going first.
I have to imagine Darby's winning this. Darby's kind of a little bit on a fast track again, too, to get back to a title shot. Not saying he's going to win. He's been not around a title for a little bit. Get him back around something. I don't think anybody really wins this match, health-wise.
Oh, God, no. Nobody. Darby's certainly not winning health-wise. I am going to be surprised if we can walk Everest and when the time comes.
Right.
Again, so I was picking Darby, too, because Brody's not, they've done a disservice to the House of Black.
Horribly.
So Brody's not a big name. So that's also making me think maybe one of these guys is going to leave here soon, because why are we having this match?
Yeah.
Well, just why? Without it being, hey, we're two buddies and we just want to have another brouhaha.
Death match.
Another death match.
Is Julia ever coming back?
That's a good question.
By the way,
we haven't seen her in a year.
Yeah. Is she ever coming back?
Maybe Saturday.
Maybe
she's the reason Darby loses.
Oh, it would fucking go nuts. You'll hear me screaming like a bitch next week at a 2004 bonfire party. Oddly
specific on the age.
It wouldn't help me. I should have said 90s then. Never mind. Not that I was at a 2004 bonfire. God, no. How would I have been? Nonetheless. I digress. All 20 years ago, I would have only been 27. I would have been that weirdo. I would have been that weirdo at a high school party.
Well, maybe it was an adult bonfire that was with your group of friends.
Yep.
Listen, you guys gather smoked cheeses every year.
Do.
So why would you not have a bonfire?
Because they're linked to like homecomings and such as like that around here.
Well, that's fair.
We do have a party for smoked cheeses. That date has been set, by the way, folks.
I was going to say, isn't that coming up?
Anybody gives a shit. That is November 23rd.
Okay, well, there you go.
There you
go.
Do
you know what cheeses you're going to smoke yet?
Not a clue. Oh, definitely. Well, no, I have to say I always do smoke the provolone. That's by far my favorite. I don't know. I have to try different stuff. And then Cooper, because everybody brings Cooper.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. There you go. There's the first report for the Smoked Cheeses 2024 for everybody. So, now that we'll return to our regular scheduled programming here to the AEW Tag Team Championship with the Young Bucks or Private Party and Mark's just having a blast over there. By the way, this is the Young Bucks winning this, and I don't care what anybody says.
Ditto.
Yeah, there's no way Private Party's winning this.
No.
They can't convince
Why are you taking easy matches, by the way? I just fucking realized that. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
You're setting yourself... You're the picker. And no titles on the line or anything. I still don't deserve a title shot.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was doing easy matches.
You're giving yourself the ones that we were like, yeah, all right, boom, see ya. You picked Briscoe because neither one of us wanted to go with Jericho. You picked the Bucks. The Darby one we both thought about.
Darby one we both thought about, yeah.
Go ahead, throw another hard one at me.
I'll throw you an easy one. TNT title match, Jack Perry, Shibata.
Oh, Jack Perry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You too?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think he loses this for a while.
No, he's got this till Revolution at least.
Yeah.
I don't even know who would be.
Darby?
Is it Darby? Because I think Darby's on another plane right now.
You would think. But.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get there. International World Title match here. I'll throw myself a difficult one here because I don't know what the fuck we're going to get out of this. I could see them giving Ospreay the win here, but I think there's more at play with Callis and the way this plays out. I think we're getting Takeshita's first title win, and he's going to pin Ricochet though.
So Will doesn't take the loss.
Will doesn't take the loss
because Will has been ready.
Yeah.
This is just something building for when Will has the title and Takeshita doesn't have the title. Or we could get champion versus champion. But I'm tired of those lickety-split.
Yeah. Exactly.
The downfall is what I just saw in Pittsburgh. I feel bad, and I thought I'd never say this in my life. I feel bad that Ricochet is the third wheel in this match. He's taking the loss no matter who wins this match.
Right.
I think. One Will wins. It's that win over Ricochet. Takeshita's might be out of it. And that makes sense for me because then we could wrap back around to Will Takeshita solely, which we do want. We really do want.
Yeah.
But it would be okay if he chases one time too, Will. And if he loses to Takeshita to move on to other things. Like if this match wraps back around.
Yeah.
Once he came out in Pittsburgh, I figured this was Takeshita's match to win.
Yeah.
So, but I can't imagine Will taking a loss.
I can't either. The only way, I don't think that Will takes the loss here. I think the only way he would is like if they take out Ricochet somehow, then there's a beatdown or like he gets the screwdriver to the head or something like that. That's how Will get paid.
Behind the ref
Behind the ref. Well, it's a three-way, so basically anything goes in this now.
Touche. You're right.
All right.
Do we see Fletcher get involved?
That was my other thing. Is Fletcher a part of this and he's going to turn on Will?
Yes.
I
have that interaction that they had, and he was going to hit him with a screwdriver. He wasn't going to hit him with a screwdriver. Then he just walks away. Callis got into his head. If that funny business happens, I think it's because of Fletcher.
Yep.
You can get Will away from this title instantly then.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his buddy can battle for a little bit. Put on some fucking nominal matches.
Oh, yeah.
And then Will gets pushed to take on not maybe this next champion, but the following champion.
This is a way to build up his resume to get to that following champion.
Right.
Yep. So Darby. I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Can you imagine that match?
I think they're way too different. They're the same.
But
Will doesn't take stupid decisions.
I agree, but I think that's what makes it intriguing, at least. Darby's going to do stupid shit.
Will do stupid shit and protect you.
Yeah. Darby just does stupid shit and hurts himself. However, that's something Will has never seen, is somebody willing to just destroy themselves to achieve an end result.
Right? I have a question for you when we're done. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. You're up. Women's Championship match, Mariah or Willow?
We've given this away.
I know I have.
Yeah. It's May. It's a big win for Mariah again over an ex-champion, an ex-Owen champion. They've butted heads before, but this solidifies that this little kind of feud that's been around, it's not been around, is done.
Yeah, it's gonna be May. It's just gonna be. You're welcome.
Willow's had a great year.
Oh, she has, yeah.
She really has. Mariah's had a great year. So if you're comparing right now between Willow and May, who's your woman of the year in AEW? There needs to be that breaker, and I think this is where Mariah gets it.
Yeah, you can't go off the Owen Cup. It has to be for the women's title. Outside of it, who is it? So, I would agree.
She's glamour.
She's glamour.
She loves Can Crusher still, too, by the way.
I mean, who doesn't?
Right?
So, all right. Where do I want to go? Oh, we only got 2 left. Hangman or Jay White? Oh, wait, it's my choice, right? Yeah, it's my turn, yeah.
Yeah, because the next one is a given. So.
Yeah. Hangman. Oh, man. Jay just came back. He's a baby face. Hangman, you know what? Fuck it. Jay White wins this because they need to give him the win. And I think Hangman, maybe we're thinking about the Swerve situation and all that. They may not be done. And Swerve may cost Hangman here. And they're going to end up in an exploding death match at World's End. Give me Jay White.
I'm taking Jay White as well.
Okay.
Because prior to this match is when Swerve returns. And Hangman comes out fucking willy-nilly and kind of doesn't intervene in what happened, but he comes out at the end when Swerve is either with Bob or da-da-da, but Swerve's going to be the last one of that segment. And they're just going to fucking look at each other with separation. I don't think they'll touch. But then that's going to be on Hangman's head the whole match. I'm not saying it's going to be a quick, 30-second win for Jay. But don't be surprised if this match is only 7 minutes.
Wouldn't it be wild if... I'm going to go the opposite way on this. What if Hangman comes out, gets in Swerve's face, and Bob and Shelton come right at him? And it's just mauling. And basically it's left to Jay White to pick the bones at that point. Because Hangman's emotions got the best of him, and this was not a situation he could fight his way out of.
Okay, I'm on board for that too. Yeah.
Because that would play right into your 30-second match, because Jay White just has to come out, Blade Runner, let's take a shower.
Yeah. And it's a big win. It's a big win because Jay returned.
Exactly.
Not that this is a big win for Jay. Jay's had huge wins.
Huge wins. But this is it's his big win to return. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. No matter the circumstance around it, he has reestablished himself within the company as a main event star.
Yep. Either one.
Yeah.
No more than 7 minutes. Could be 30 seconds.
Could be. And we say that, and it'll be a 30-minute classic.
I know, right?
All right. Final
By the way, we have not fucking changed at all.
I know, I realize that. I don't think we're going... We can't on this last one either, because... It's everyone in their mother's...
The final countdown.
For the last 5 months has been the final countdown. So... Right.
It's in Washington, folks.
It's in Tacoma. It's at his home. It's time for him to go home.
Yep.
Danielson Mox. Mox has taken the title. And I think rightfully so. This is probably, outside of Hangman or Swerve, this is probably the right guy to take the title.
This is who Danielson picked.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
This is who Danielson picked. Again, he is retiring from full-time wrestling. This is not his last match.
No.
I will say that.
Yep. His last match.
For a while.
Well, yeah. Neck surgery is going to do that to you. For sure.
Right.
I'll predict his last match, because this is probably 5-10 years down the line. His last match is Wheeler Yuta.
Okay.
I
like that.
I think that's 100% it. Wheeler probably be the world champion by that point, a couple times over, and it'll be the perfect opportunity.
And it's because Wheeler Yuta is going to cost him this match.
Yep.
This is where the turn comes.
We played nice, so here we go.
Yeah. I gave you what you wanted, yada, yada, yada.
Because again, why would you give the Trios champions
right
the title? Why would you give these three the Trios championships unless they're going to stay together for a little bit of time?
Exactly. Now, they could just hand them over after Mox wins this and whatever, or pick up maybe somebody else. Is it going to be BCC?
Maybe.
And there's a Freebird role. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. But to that point, doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
And
the writing was on the wall in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Should have hit him then with the hammer.
Didn't do it. We thought maybe it'll be this week before, get him down in the dumps. No, but you cost him the title. It makes sense.
It plays perfect in your storyline in 5 years when he comes back.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, he'll be around AEW for those whole 5 years.
But when
writing,
he actually wrestles,
booking, talent, and everything. But when Yuta's that star, because he's going to be, and again, pillars, we'll talk about it end of the year like we always do, which is fucking fastly approaching.
Way too fast. Way too fucking fast.
And there's been a big shift in AEW this year with the re-signings and just stories.
Yeah.
We're linking one right here. And I firmly believe that. So my question to you, how long does Mox have this? I don't...
2 months, maybe.
Transition.
And I think it's Ospreay.
Okay.
Or...
I think it's Darby.
I thought it was Darby too, but if it's Darby, I feel like it's going to be longer than 2 months.
3 then. No more than 3 months.
I want to say, I originally thought Darby, but I think if they take the title off of Will, they're going to have to put, I think Will is too big of a star not to put the world title on. And they're not putting the world title on Okada anytime soon.
No.
Darby, I think, has to go through the whole BCC, so I think you're going to get Darby. Darby and Mox may end up at some point getting back to it.
Darby's got to go through Cage's crew first. So Darby's got, if it's a match every week, Darby's got 6 weeks of people to go through. Essentially. Yeah. And that's not going to be that fast.
No. I don't know.
So we could spread that out to 3 months.
We could. Something's not sitting right with Darby right now.
Okay.
But to that point, do you put it on Darby before he goes to Mount Everest? Because that has been planned since he didn't go last year. He goes, and you're going to have another transitional champion after that for 3 months?
He's really going to Mount Everest again.
That's what he said last year, I thought. Earlier this year when he didn't go this year because he broke his foot. And then somehow...
run over.
And then he got hit by a bus. So, I think he is going to Everest again.
So then we're getting Will for... close to a year before Darby returns?
I mean, you're not going to be on Everest for a year.
No, but I mean...
I would say Double or Nothing, Darby's back by.
Okay.
Or Dynasty, one of the two. Because if he goes to March again, I mean, I don't know how long it takes to climb Everest. Obviously, I'm not a physical specimen that would do that. But I'm assuming it's not going to take more than a couple weeks. It was March last year because then he got hit by the bus in April.
Okay. Why was I thinking July? I don't know. But, okay. All right. I just can't see Will not holding it that short of time. I'm not saying Darby's winning it. I just think Will's next may be a rehash story of somebody that's not in AEW right now because he's taking a break. If Will gets it. I don't know. And my Max it was his birthday on Thursday, and he just got a haircut. So I don't know if there's anybody else by the name of Max that people remember.
Well, when there's a lot of happiness or just playing fiddle to a Gilmore, you got to kind of move along and do things, step away for a little bit of time.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, real life talk, we both have Mox no more than 3 months.
Yeah, Mox is not getting past 3 months.
This is who Danielson picked.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to continue to be CC kind of thing, yada, yada, yada. I wouldn't be shocked if Danielson is going to be the one writing for BCC. Yes, he's going to have surgery, but you can write and help storylines, from anywhere.
Yep.
I think Danielson's taking over the writing for some of these.
I could see that. Yeah, especially the BCC, 100%.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. I'm going to throw it out there. I know we just talked about one that was a 3.5. And I usually don't say this, like, oh, I'm really excited. I say that because I'm excited for wrestling. I think there's a lot of good shit that's going to come out of this. I don't think, besides Bob, we're not getting anything surprises-wise. Do you?
No. I
think this is their classic wrestling pay-per-view.
I think it's a classic wrestling pay-per-view. We'll get Bob. You know what? I'll throw out maybe... Well, no, I don't even think he would come. I don't think Copeland would come right now. There's too much going on from the Hurricanes and that he can't commit to that.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe it's just Bob. So hunker down because this is going to be strictly a wrestling pay-per-view to watch.
The last pay-per-view was full of guts and glory and all of that.
This
AEW does it. They do shenanigans are fucking full to this is why we're here. We wrestle. As much as I make fun of freaking Hologram, I think Hologram Immortus is going to be pretty goddamn good.
Oh, 100%.
I just can't stand Hologram. That's all. Like, there's not a match on here that I'm like, oh, this is going to be Finn Balor against Damian Priest.
Which is amazing, right? Because if you think about it, they had 2 months of build. Well, 3 years of build. I'm looking at Darby Brody. Okay, that's carrying 2 weeks plus whatever their history they have. Shit, I'll go to
Shibata Perry.
Shibata Perry, that's the perfect one. That's just going to be a wrestling match in itself, and that's an exciting one at that point. But they just set it up over a phone.
They did. And we built up the Jay White Hangman Swerve thing that 10 minutes, and I now rolled it out to 10 minutes because they're going to have a promo or whatever beforehand.
Right.
That 10 minutes is going to be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's what's in my head.
Yep.
So I don't think that we're going to be saying this is a 4.5, probably 5. Something will go wrong. So, let's call a spade. Something will go wrong.
I'll predict the lowest match right now. The match that's going to be the worst in the night. It's the ROH title match. Jericho and Briscoe. Nothing against Briscoe, but nothing can save what Jericho's done this past year and a half. Cole, you name him. Even Ospreay hasn't had a decent match against him.
I'll be invested because of the story.
Yes,
at least.
The story is the investment on that one.
I'm not looking forward to the Bucks and Private Party.
What? It's a private party. You weren't going to be looking forward to them at all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're watching it live. I'm watching it Sunday morning. So what are you doing the rest of the week?
Rest of the week. Got some
Finally
stuff here at the house.
You fucking sick bastard.
Taking a couple days before that, too. But we got another venue visit coming up here next week. A wedding expo on Sunday. So we're going to do that. Yeah. That'll be fun.
And they have treats and stuff there, so you should be excited about that usually.
Yeah,
they usually have
do.
hors d'oeuvres that you get to try.
I agree. So I think it'll be a fun little event. Our main goal we got to pick up, photographers, DJs. We got to start getting networking, if you will. Yeah. So we're going to be playing into that card a little bit, but the rest of the week's been it'll be there. We have some things coming up, but it'll be there. What about you?
Football game today, as everybody's listening. Laundry and scrub the floors and watch WrestleDrea on Sunday. Possible interview with somebody across the seas that has reached out. So that might be coming up soon. She has to see booking in this, that, and the other for the following week. It will be saved for when I tell you when the spotlights are coming back, so don't worry about that. And as I look at the schedule, that's it. There's nothing on the docket. Maybe turn the PlayStation 5 on, too, this week.
Well, you got to get that Pit Dynasty going.
It's going. I'm in, I think, week 8.
Yeah.
But I need to win the Natty.
Got to win the Natty. Got to win.
With
I will say
one of the greatest players in fucking college football history right now, Eli Holstein.
I will say
I'm going to get hate for that.
You're going to get definite hate for that. I got screwed with Old Dominion out of the playoff, and now it's Revenge Tour. So, smoked SMU, who got in before us, so see you bye. So now it's Revenge Tour time, and that's what we're going to take it as.
Nice.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did watched a movie this week. Kind of like kiddie-ish Disney/movie. Watched 2 movies this week, actually. One was called 23 Blast. True story about a young man that goes blind and then continues to play football.
Oh, okay.
And becomes like a reverend to ruin it all. But I want to read you this. This quote was meant for something else, but I'll give you a quote right now, and it hit. For we live by faith, not eyesight, is the way the movie ends. And I'm like, oh yeah. So if you have the Netflix now, it's on Netflix. So I was in a feel good moment. Me and my son then watched a movie this week called Sinister.
Oh God.
We're looking at a date this week to watch Sinister 2.
I was going to say, isn't there 3 of those?
I think so.
Yeah.
But we're slowly. So, he picked it. He's like, you want to watch something scary, gory, da-da-da? I'm like, sure. Let's watch it. It sucks you in. It is, have you seen it?
I've seen the first one, yeah. I haven't seen the other 2, but yeah. You want to hear?
It's kind of fucked up. No,
No. My tale of 2 different extremes here. So you watched Sinister. We watched Muppets Haunted Mansion, which was fantastic in its own right. I laughed. I was enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. Muppets are underrated. I will say that right now.
So underrated. There's an amazing documentary about Jim Henson out there. I don't know what streaming thing it's on, for God's sakes, but watch that. It was unbelievable. I watched that months ago. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
I love the Muppets. I really do.
I do too.
Who's your favorite Muppet?
That's You know, Sam the Eagle is a very fun Muppet, kind of bringing it. But I'm really liking the Pepe the Shrimp, or the Prawn, King Prawn now, whatever they once go by. Yeah, he's been really good.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I'm a classic. I really like Fozzie Bear. Like, Fozzie is probably
good.
my, what is it? Not your werewolf. Your inner animal or whatever.
Yeah. Gonzo. Like, when Muppets Christmas Carol, great Christmas movie, him as Charles Dickens got me through my childhood, him and Rizzo. So those two were hilarious.
Anthony Rizzo?
Yeah, maybe Anthony Rizzo. Depending on who you ask in Chicago. He was a rat.
Right. He was a rat.
He was a rat.
Oh, God. I never thought we'd end with the Muppets, but that's a perfect place to end, folks. It's a perfect place to end.
It still ties back to wrestling. They hosted
They
Raw
did?
before. Yeah.
I completely forgot. Jesus Christ. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do good things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop, whoop.